Today, we are starting with a very special guest. He's a celebrity chef, author, entrepreneur, and a proud Tampa resident. Robert Irvine has spent the last several years helping the U.S. Army reinvent how it feeds our troops. And now he's bringing that same passion for health and service back home through his Robert Irvine Foundation. And he's here today to tell us more about it. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So exciting. People know you obviously from the Food Network and all your shows that you've done.
I'm
there.
not that mean.
You're not that mean. You're not.
No.
Really. And I've been talking to him all morning. He's really not. You're such a nice guy. So tell me about the Army recruiting you to help them kind of overhaul their food program.
So about 14 years ago, I started when I came to the country, working 2 days a week at the White House, going to bases and seeing food that was, in my opinion, not fit for the men and women that wear the cloth of our nation, nutritional-wise or aesthetic-wise. So we started to kind of go through a Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and obviously they change every 4 years. So for me, it took me 14 years to get to where we are. We now have 5 bases. We started with Fort Jackson, which is giving healthy food, changing the way we have a modern-day warfighter, girl or boy, right?
Yeah.
So we've been doing that now for a year and a half. We now have the 5 biggest bases in the continental U.S., Fort Bragg, Fort Lee, etc.
Yeah.
And really not just the food itself, but the actual environment that the men and women eat at. So that's a non-paid position for me, but it's taken me 340 days a year to do it, which I love. And it's fun. Look, we owe a debt of gratitude to those 1% of men and women that put on the cloth of our uniform and our nation to give them the best we can.
Yeah. And so what kind of changes did you make? Was it to the actual, you just make the food healthier? You've also taught the chefs how to cook healthier, right?
Well, it's actually from the purchasing. So it's a whole cycle. How do we purchase the food? Where do we purchase? Then the training of the cooks. Then the look of the facade of the restaurant. You go to a restaurant because of the ambiance.
Yeah.
You go to a military base, it looks like a prison, you know, dumping food from a hot press.
Right.
So we've taken the collegiate way of making stations, but making it look beautiful.
Yeah.
So we don't see a picture of the commander-in-chief and the commanding general. There's music, there's a lot more softness. It's almost like going to an athletic college.
Yeah.
Which makes you feel better when you eat instead of feeling you're in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, or Guardians.
Yeah, and then you're also doing something, the Vet Fit program. Tell me more about that.
Very excited about this. You know, we talk about holistic health and food in the active duty military, you know, 2.4 active duty men and women. But we have a huge veteran community, especially here in Tampa. So tomorrow at EOS, we partner with EOS Fitness. We take 10 people, 10 veterans, as a pilot program. For 6 months, we're going to train them on food, nutrition, meditation. And what does that actually do? It means we get them out of the room where they feel alone. You remember, you've been in the service for 20 or 30 years. When you come out, you're left alone trying to figure out what to do. That's when, you know, we see the suicide rate go up. My job is to get them out, get them active. We just finished a 54-mile march in Scotland with 65 wounded warriors, 1,300 coalition warriors in 1 day, by the way, not 4 days.
Right.
So getting people active, men and women that are retired and lost. We want to keep them involved in the community and the community involved in them.
Yeah, and this is a pilot program here in Tampa, but you're hoping that it expands.
Not hoping.
It will.
Janelle, it will.
Okay.
We don't fail.
Right.
We put these 10 people through, and what it is, it's also buddy system. In the military, we use, hey, how's your buddy doing? We're sitting across from eating. That's why the food is so important. The same with the fitness.
Yeah.
Vet Fit, sorry. I had to get this again, right? Vet Fit is about bringing people together and buddy. So yes, we have 6 months of working out with nutrition, all those things.
Right.
But it's also about meeting friends and connecting so that we have a buddy to call when we feel down.
Yeah, absolutely. And this passion of yours come from you yourself were in the military in England. So is that where this passion comes from?
Yeah, I joined the military at 15 and a half years old, and I showed you the picture earlier. I was a young, now I'm old and gray, but I still work out.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you. And tell us where we can find more information if you want to find out more about your foundation.
You can go to Robert Irvine Foundation, oneword.org. And make sure you have a roll of tissue paper or toilet paper because you'll cry.
Yeah.
Great things, wheelchairs, dogs, Reuniting the Brave. We've fed 80,000 people since January to May.
Yeah.
So
that's amazing.
Those things.
Okay, well, you stick around for our next segment. We're going to make charcuterie boards. And I think you might be able to do that. Yeah?
Charcuterie? I'm in.